to welcome you all at Talal Abu-Ghazaleh Knowledge Forum. We are more than honored to have this evening our distinguished speaker, Ambassador of China. China means a lot to us, but before I start talking, I think you heard that we are on the air. This meeting is on the air on Talal Abu-Ghazaleh radio station at frequency 102.7. So this will be aired live to listeners in Jordan. The session is about the relationship between China and Jordan, and I am very honored that personally I was exceptionally distinguished by the President of China for the award for promoting Chinese-Arab relations. I was greatly honored to receive this award from the President himself in recognition of my belief in developing the relationships between China and the Arab world. I do that because of my love for the Arab world to begin with, because I think it's in our interest to develop these relations. But also we have very long relationships with China in various fields, particularly cultural fields. Ma'mun, you are already back? Alhamdulillah as-salam. Our director of Talal Abu-Ghazaleh Confucius Institute has just arrived from China with good news about expanding the scope of our cooperation to cover more countries. So we are very proud of the confidence we have from the Chinese government. I am sure we will have a lot of interesting things to talk about. I'm not here to speak, but I would like to just say that we would like to have also time for any questions. We will be focusing on investment, on education, and on the Silk Road, and on any other subjects Your Excellency deems appropriate. We have translators. His Excellency will speak in English, but we have miscellaneous translation.
Into Arabic?
Yes, in Arabic.
Okay.
For anybody who wants to have to hear the presentation in Arabic. So please ask for the mic for the hearing aid if you want it in Arabic. I stop here and I ask my very good friend, of whom I'm very proud to be friends, but also as partners in many things we do together in the fields of economic, business, and educational and cultural relations. Thank you very much for honoring us with your presence. I want to recognize the very distinguished presence of our Minister of Investment in Jordan. It is nice that His Excellency made the time to be with us this evening, and it shows that our government is as eager as all of us are about the relationship with China. Excellencies, ambassadors and ministers, we are very grateful for you, my distinguished friends and colleagues. Thank you for being here, and I give the floor to His Excellency.
Thank you so much. Well, thank you so much, Your Excellency. It's working? Yes. Very good. I don't know how to start. So many warm words, and I'm not prepared, even with no piece of paper today. I'm a little bit nervous. So my secret, I didn't expect that too many participants here today. So the ministers, ambassador, ex-ministers, the politicians, the friends of relations between China and Jordan. So first of all, I would like to say thank you so much for coming for the event today. And thank you for paying attention to the relations between China and Jordan. Because as an ambassador here, I have too much to say about bilateral relations. I see the large potentials. I told my friends here that we shall do more. and we should explore the potentials together. So I take this place as my home. I thank you so much for your invitation. His Excellency, Mr. Talal Abu-Ghazaleh, he's the front runner. He's an activist, and he's very active in promoting the relations between China and Jordan in all fields. And he's very successful. And he got the prize from my president in Cairo. And thank you so much for providing such opportunity and the platform for us to exchange views. I don't say that I'm the speaker today. I want to take your advice. I want to take your proposals. I have some ideas in my mind. I will tell you first in short speech. Then I take your questions, your proposals. And as you know that Jordan is a very important country in the region. And Jordan has large potentials. And Jordan is a very good friend of China. Jordan can play excellent role in bringing East and the West together. And the Asians, they can go to Europe or West Africa through Jordan. And the Europeans, they can go to Asia through Jordan. It's a hub. And I want to say more, the advantages of Jordan, why it's so important, so attractive to China, to the Chinese investors. It's very peaceful, very stable, very nice people, very friendly people, very nice culture, historical culture. And we have so many friends. When we talk with our Jordanians, we feel we're talking with our family members. We're talking with our brothers and sisters. We don't feel any gap, any distance between us. So that's the feeling. When you talk with the people, when you make friends with people, you need the feeling from here. I speak Persian. We have our Iranian counselor here. It means that from the bottom of your heart and from bottom of your heart, we have the roads and the bridges. They are connecting each other between us. Culturally, historically, feelings, human feelings. I have my feeling there. So this is why I believe that we should do more together. We should work together more closely. We should bring more fruits. We should bring more fruitful results. And the second is that environment. Jordan has very peaceful environment, very good atmosphere, and very, friendly environment, and very harmonious social environment. This environment maybe you don't have for time being in the surrounding countries. I don't want to name the countries, but you know what I mean. Jordan has the environment now, right? This is the advantage. This is strong points. Congratulations, you're lucky to have such a peaceful and stable environment. And we need it. The Chinese investors, the European investors, they need it. And I talk about not only bilateral relations, I'm also talking about trilateral, multilateral. As I mentioned, East meets West, or West meets East. Why not? We can do that. And also, there are some other advantages. So Jordan can play a very important role in bringing the investors, either from East or the West, and the Eastern or Asian investors, or European or Western investors can take Jordan as a hub if they want to participate in post-war reconstruction in Iraq, in Syria, or other regions. And Jordan is situated in the West, what we call West Asia. So it can be a very important bridge and hub. They can take not only the commodities, but the technologies from Asia to Europe, from Europe to Asia. And we also can use it here. Why not? Jordan has important location. Although Jordan has not very much rich natural resources, but you have very high quality human resources. This is why His Excellency Mr. Talal Abu-Ghazaleh is doing. He is working on education. He has created a very high efficient educational system in Jordan. He is connecting Jordan with Asia, with Europe, with East and West. And he's helping to train the high quality resources, human resources. So this is why Jordan has this advantage. We can make it useful. We can work on it. So this is why the Chinese investors are here. And what they are doing now here. First, they like to take Jordan as a peaceful, stable hub for the investment. Not only targeting Jordan. So they are working on different fields, industry, services, educational, cultural programs. And they are taking Jordan as they are using the advantages, the policy of Jordan to enter the European market, to enter the American market, North American market, to enter GCC market, as you have FTA now with US, Canada, Turkey, or GCC countries, and you have your agreements with the EU, which I also talked with the ambassador, also from Italy, the EU ambassador. We are talking about maybe some investment here, and we can use some potentials of Syrian refugees, and we can use the resources here, and we can produce the commodities products here, and we can export maybe more easily to the big European market. So the Chinese investors, what they are doing here, I visited Aqaba about a month ago, and I visited the several factories in Aqaba. One is on LED lights. They said that China is a big producer of LED lights, and we see very few LED lights has been used here in Jordan. So for the safety of energy, to save the energy, we need LED lights. And if we replace LED lights, with the traditional lights, we can save 60 to 70% of electricity, of power. Why not? So they bring their factory here, they produce the lights here, and they've signed contracts with the municipality. And they are replacing the street lights, office lights, even the home lights with LED lights produced by the Chinese factory invested in Aqaba. And they can save 70% of energy for Aqaba. So we can do in other areas, why not? Garment factory. We have several already with the mainlanders from China, the Taiwanese investors, the Hong Kongese investors. Why they are here? Because Jordan has FTA with US, with North America, with the GCC countries. So they produce the garments, the clothes here, they export easily, right? Through your FTA. So that's why they are opening. And they have already opened some garment factory in Aqaba, in Sahab, in El Beit, and in other areas. They are still looking for investment opportunities. And I also visited a glass factory. I said, why glass? They said, we don't have much glass factories in the Middle East. Maybe Jordan will be the number one or the second, I don't know. So they are starting on glass factories, and they are using the raw materials. What's the name of it? Silica, yeah. Jordan, Ma'an and Aqaba, you have the rich resources of silica. So why not use it? And also, the Chinese factories and some of the Chinese producers, their traditional markets is in Europe, is in the United States. And because of the large distance between China and Europe, China and the US, so we can take Jordan as a transitional period. So that's why they are moving their factories from China to Jordan, and they produce here, they call it made in Jordan. Then they export to European market, to US market, to GCC market. So it's, as I mentioned, you don't like the words. It's a win-win-win situation. Win for China.
I like the word. I like it.
Win for Jordan, win for Europe and the Americans. So that's why. So that's why I believe that these are the potentials. And I tell you the good news. The Chinese invested factory, they produce garments. They've been here maybe for 1 or 2 decades, for 10 or 20 years. And this company will be the first Jordanian company which will be listed in New York Stock Exchange this year maybe October or November. Congratulations to Jordan. It will be the first company in Jordan who will be listed
That's
in
bravo.
New York Stock Exchange. And this is a very good example of collaboration between China and Jordan. Invested by China, produced the garments, but made in Jordan. What they are producing here? The garments factory, they are producing North Face, Columbia, Ralph Lauren, Adidas, and all the good and the big brands in the world. And they've been very welcomed in the European market, Asian market, North American market, because they're under the license. They are produced very good quality, acceptable to the West, to Asians, to Africans. So they are using the hub, they are using Jordan to produce all the brands, all the commodities needed by Europeans, Americans, or Asians, or other regions of the world. So these are good examples. And also on investments, as you may have heard, that China has provided $1.6 billion to start using the reserve here called oil shale. Amazing. Jordan maybe has not much oil and natural gas, but Jordan has rich resources of silicon, as you mentioned, and oil shale. I visited Ma'an, and they told me there's still large oil shale reserves there. So Jordan, by using oil shale, its own reserve, so Jordan can reduce its import from Saudi Arabia or from other countries of crude oil. And by using oil shale, they can produce electricity, power here by using their own raw materials. And also, there will be a large numbers of people the 5,500 job opportunities will be created by this project. And also the Chinese investors, they are talking about opening a Dragon Mart, a Dragon Mall, a new Chinese shopping mall here. So I talked with the investors, they said there will be 200 companies. Of course, small companies, some of them, they produce the garments, the toys, electronics, refrigerators, and stationaries, shoes, bags, hats, whatever you name, it's made in China, but with high quality. With high quality. Even the Chinese investors said, oh, we might beat the Europeans. The Jordanians will buy good quality Chinese-made products, and they will buy less European or American-made products. Don't worry about it. Even the Americans, even the European brands, they are produced here in Jordan. As I mentioned, made in Jordan, invested by China, but producing the American and European brands. It's win-win-win. You like the word now?
I like it.
Yeah. So other projects we are following here. Nuclear reactor. Nuclear is very sensitive. I'm sure some of them, they agree with that. Some of them, they disagree. Some of the countries, they agree with that. Some of the countries, they disagree. It's a very sensitive issue. But you need investment. This is a project, at least from 7 to 10 billion US investment needed. Who can pay for that? I don't mean that other countries, either they don't have capabilities, either they are not willing, right, to invest. But the Chinese companies, they are talking seriously with our Jordanian friends, with Atomic Organization of Jordan, with Mr. Turkan. And of course, there are a lot of technical issues need to be solved. Especially our Jordanian friends, they are very concerned about safety and quality. So I want to tell you, China is working very well on nuclear energy. They've been doing it for decades. And they're doing abroad now. They're doing it in UK. They're doing it in Latin America. They're doing it in Asia. And they are working with different countries. So Jordan and your atomic organization, they know about the equipment and technology, nuclear technology made in China. They visited, they talk with them. They are inviting them to be here. So it could be a very big investment, at least 5 to 6 billion US dollars, at least, from China. So it could be a very big project again between us. And it could help to solve the shortages of electricity here. And maybe for Jordanians, they want to export. Why not electricity, right? It's a far-sighted policy. And also we are working on, you may have heard, from red to dead, right? We can have a pipeline from Red Sea to save the Dead Sea. Actually, you may have heard that the water levels is decreasing. So they need to be done something. So we are working with our Jordanian friends, we are working with other, even European companies to work together on this project. So as I want to emphasize, it's win-win-win again. And also on renewable energy. You may know that China is good at renewable energies, solar, wind, and water. We've got hydro power stations. And so we are participating in tenders. We are talking with our Jordanian friends and some of the municipalities, the private sectors, they are inviting us to make investment here, for financing the projects here. I visited Ma'an. It's maybe the most ideal place to produce solar energy. And they have very big plan, maybe hundreds of megawatts. And they are inviting the Chinese to come and participate. So renewable energy is clean energy, it's a future energy. Why not? We can work together. The Chinese companies can finance investing in such energy. And the waste energy. Waste energy might be not familiar for some of you. It's waste, but it can be reprocessed. You use the waste and produce the electricity. In the big cities, among with 4 million population, albeit with 2 million, and there are some other large cities, even medium-sized cities. If you make use the waste, you can produce electricity. It's a recycle, it's a reproduce, it's a renewable. It's very good and it's good. And now, luckily, I want to tell you that some Chinese investors, companies, they are talking with the relevant authorities and the municipalities and even the private sectors, because some of them might be PPP. It's a good model. Why not? By using the investment from abroad, by using the financial resources from private sectors, private banks, why not? It's a good model. And we can make use of it. And I also want to tell you that we are looking after some other projects. You may have heard about the pipeline from Iraq, Basra to Aqaba, Jordan. It could be 1,600 kilometers. So maybe Iraq will take care of 800, Jordan will take care of 600. I'm not the expert, I don't have the figure. But still, it could be a new way of export of crude oil from Iraq to the outside of the world. So they used to go to the Gulf area before. But Aqaba, the Red Sea exit, it could be a new exit for Iraq, right? It could be excellent. So some Chinese companies, they are participating in talking with Iraqi government, with Jordanian government. And we are also talking on refinery. You have very big refinery in Zabka, and they want to expand it. So by using the fund from China, so they can do it, they can expand it, they can have the new parts, they can import the new equipments. So they used to refine, I don't know how, I don't have a figure in my mind. They even can expand maybe 1/3 or even double the production. Why not? It's a good project. And also, I have so much to talk. And and also I want to say that China is a good friend of Jordan. We understand your situation, and we are very sympathetic to the economic situation you are facing now. Actually, there are large numbers of Syrian refugees living here, and it's a big financial burden for Jordan. You are helping the international community to look after them. And the Chinese government has provided large donations, grants to Jordanian government. And for example, there is a project, it's a water supply project. By taking the water from the under the hills and actually the areas, they take it to the mountain area. People, they are living up the mountain, up the hill. So by constructing the projects in that area, we have solved the water shortages of 500,000 people. 500,000 people living in that area. It's called Weifang. And also the Chinese government has promised to donate, to help Jordan to build a road in south, north of Amman. And we have done quite a lot in, you may have heard, hospitals, stadiums, and also the schools, even university. And we're also talking about our relations in tourism. When I talked to Lina, the Minister of Tourism, she told me the fast-growing tourists from Asia, and China is the number one, 97% increase. The first half of this year, from January to June, 6 months, the fast-growing tourists are from Asia, are from China. So China, you may know that it's the number one, actually, regarding its figure of tourists in the world. So last year we have 130 million people who went abroad. So in the next 5 years, there will be 700 million people that are going abroad. So my deputy prime minister was here, and she said that if we can have 1% of them coming to Jordan, it will be 7 million. 7 million people coming to Jordan. It's a large number, right? So this is why we are talking about education. We are talking about the language talent. We are talking about how to have the local language guides, how to create the hotels, the Chinese restaurants, and how to let the Chinese tourists know more about Jordan, its history, its culture, its religion, everything. You have too much to. Actually, there are too much to visit here. Very few people they know about it, but there are more and more they are coming because Jordan is very attractive to the Chinese tourists. Cultural, educational, tourism, economic, commercial, investment, trade. China is number 2 trading partner for Jordan. Last year it was 3.1 billion. And China is number 1 concerning its export. The commodities coming to Jordan. China is the number 1. It means that a lot of Jordanian businessmen, they want to buy from China. So they are using everything here, made in China. So China is the number 1 concerning its the commodities export to Jordan. And the second largest trading partner, maybe you are buying from Saudi Arabia's crude oil. I don't know whether Saudi Arabia is number 1 trading partner for you or not, but China is the second. We export everything. When you go to the shops, the markets, you see everything is made in China. So if we have a China Dragon Mall here, you can have more made in China. If we can have more investment here, opening their factories here. As I mentioned, one Chinese steel factory, they are opening very soon here because they are targeting the US market. They are exporting their products to US. And maybe because of our trade, we don't have FTA with US, and it's a large distance, and maybe some quota limit. Why we do not use Jordan as a hub for it? Right? You have FTA. We produce here with your collaboration, with your support. We produce to the US, to Europe, by marking it made in Jordan. So there's no quota limit. There will be FTA, zero tax, whatever you name. Disadvantages. I can predict there will be more and more producers that are coming. And for your information, we have the problem of overproduction. Because you know that Chinese people are very hardworking people. They produce everything from A to Z in the world. And if there's some good products welcomed, any market in the world, there will be hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands of companies. They produce it overnight. So that could cause overproduction. We don't mean that we are moving our overproduction factories to Jordan. I don't mean that. I mean that we can have win-win situation. By Chinese investment, by using the labor from Jordan and from other countries in the region or from Asia even, because Asian countries, they are very good in garment factory. So we have our labor from everywhere, from India, from Bangladesh, from Sri Lanka, from Myanmar. And we have our factories in Indonesia, Vietnam. Why they are opening the factories there? Because of the labor. So in Jordan, you also have very good labor. You have high rate of unemployment. So we can help to create job opportunities. And we can, as I mentioned, win-win situation by using the labor from Jordan and from Southeast Asia, by investment by the Chinese companies, and by using the markets in Europe and US. Why not? Again, it's a win-win-win situation. So I think that I have a lot to say. I can use hours to explain the opportunities. And I told my Minister of Investment, my good brother, my good colleague, Mr. Mohammed, he knows China very well. I told him that I postponed my vacation several times because we have so many delegations, they are coming. The investors, they are not ordinary tourists. They are the commercial delegations of investors. They are coming to Jordan every week. What they are doing here? They want to move in their factories to Jordan. They want to open new factories. They want to open their offices. For instance, they have predicted a large increase of the number of tourists that are coming from China. So they are opening their offices for tourism here because they need to reorganize how to pave the way to receive these tourists. Chinese tourists, they like Chinese food, right? They need the Chinese-speaking guides. They need to stay in a comfortable, maybe not luxury, comfortable hotels. They need to know more about history, culture, the historical sites, the religion, the traditions. Yeah, because you are Arabs, we are Chinese. We need to know your culture. We need to know your religion. We need to know your tradition. So we need to we need to pave the way. We need to use the investment to train to look for the resources, to train the human resources, to pave the way to receive these large increasing numbers of tourists from China. So that's for it. And as I mentioned, I have too much to say. Some of them are in my mind, some of them I forgot. You can remind me. And by taking your advice, your questions, maybe I can elaborate more in any fields you are interested. Thank you so much, Excellency. Thank you.
I have learned, I've been reading about artificial intelligence and how it will improve a man's brain and the machine's brain, and that we can have much better brains. But I think it's too early for you. I don't think it's artificial intelligence. It's real intelligence that you had so much facts and so much things to say in a structured way. You are the best.
Because I see the potentials. I see the bright future in our relations. I want to work on it with your support.
And I'm so happy that you raised so many points that are concrete and not just policy and wishes, but rather specific suggestions and specific facts that are on the ground already. So I think it's been a very, very informative statement. Like always, I'm not surprised because I have always had this experience with you. So thank you very much. I would like to open the floor for discussion. Anybody who wants a question, because everything is recorded for all kinds of purposes, please state your name and organization the organization you belong to before speaking. We have it for record keeping. So please, although you are very important, just mention your name out of modesty. Please, let's start here.
One Road initiative. If you could say a few words and tell us how, as Jordan, we can become more relevant and a strategic node on that route.
Perfect. Yeah.
Good evening. My name is Alay. I'm from the Jordan Tour Guides Association, and we are very happy to have our tour guides speaking Chinese. We already have 5, but we still need more. We're looking forward to have 20 people of our members to speak Chinese. And the Chinese we have spoken already by our guides. It's different from, it's a Chinese Taiwanese accent. So we don't want that. we want the Chinese inland Chinese. So if you could help us by having like a scholarship, our tour guides are willing to stop working for a few months, 5-6 months, just to get very good Chinese in the country. We'll be thankful for that.
Thank you.
If we can organize that with anyone.
Thank you. Next.
Thank you, Your Excellency, Dr. Talal Abu-Ghazaleh, for this kind invitation for me, and many thanks for our guest, Ambassador of China. In fact, my name is Auden. I am working with Talal Abu-Ghazaleh Knowledge Forum, voluntary work. I'm coming from the countryside, where Bedouin community living there. In fact, the situation here is totally different on that area in terms of education, in terms of natural resources, in terms of water, in terms of energy. Your Excellency, you talk about energy in the south, while the energy is covering, renewable energy is covering the whole area of Jordan. Solar and wind, solar radiation, 300 days a year or more, and wind energy, and the potential is very promising at that area. The second point I want to raise, if you don't mind, clay minerals. If we went to the northeast of Jordan, to the Azraq area, Azraq Depression, you'll find a lot of thousands of tons of clay minerals, which used for porcelainites. I don't want to deal on the president of Geologists Association, who is here with us, but we have a lot of potential. I'm very thankful for you when you talk about the training people, how to enabling people, and we already began an initiative with Dr. Talal to mobilize the people, the rural area inhabitants, to think about the knowledge, how to benefit from the knowledge, computer, in many sectors, education, health, services, and so on. So energy, water, I mean natural rainfall water, and clay minerals, there are a lot of potential. Yes, I am totally agree with you. The investment should be in human resources, which is first, but because this reflects on the natural resources and how to manage our resources. Our problem in Jordan, not with the resources, how to manage our resources. This is, in fact, from my opinion, is one of the major issues. Thank you very much.
Thank you. As you mentioned, actually, it's a very important strategy or initiative. So we had a summit in May in China, and we talked a lot about the relationship between China, Asia, China, Europe, China, Africa, and all the countries. There are, and I'm not the expert, there are maybe almost 68 countries along the road of One Belt, One Road initiative. And China has promised to provide, let me check, it's 30 million RMB. It could be 50 billion US dollar, 50 billion US dollars investment from China for in these countries. And there will be, I don't know, 9 billion US dollars as grant, as donation from Chinese government for the developing countries. So along the road. So we see the large potentials. We believe that we can create a win-win situation. China always believed that it's a global village. We should help each other. We should support each other. We should use our advantages. We should not be isolated. We should not only take our interest. We should pay attention to the interests of others. So we want to work together with other countries. So that's why we have the One Belt, One Road initiative. One Belt, One Road strategy is not beneficial to the Chinese, but also beneficial to all the countries. And as I mentioned, we can connect with the modern Silk Road and the modern maritime Silk Road. So we are going two directions, through land and the maritime. And we can create a new road that we can look for the infrastructural projects in Asia, Africa, Europe. And as I mentioned, that the Chinese companies, they are working in different countries on railway projects. We're also talking with our Jordanian friends on railway. So Jordan has a national network. It's about 980 kilometers railway network. And the Chinese civil engineering company is talking with the Ministry of Transportation on how to build the railway here in Jordan. Because we've built already in other continents, in other countries, including Saudi Arabia. We built from Mecca to Medina. There's a monorail, for pilgrims, Hajj. So they are going every year. So, and also we are talking on how to upgrade the electrical systems. Actually maybe we can upgrade the systems from Saudi Arabia to Jordan, to Iraq, to Turkey, and to Europe, to upgrade the systems. And also we are talking with the municipality on either to build underground, a subway here in Jordan. Because Amman is a very big capital. It's 4 million population. So the public transportation is really a problem, right? So in other countries, including China, you all have the subways. The underground subways. Why not in Jordan? Why not in Amman? It's also possible. If you visit China, you may heard a lot about the underground subways projects in China, the fast speed trains in China. It's about 300 to 400 kilometers an hour. So you have such networks now mainly in the eastern coast of China. So we are working with the U.S. in California. The Chinese companies, they are talking whether to build a fast, high-speed train for the U.S. in California. And also maybe in other European countries, we are also talking about it. China maybe, considering the size, China is number one now. So roads, highways, airports, seaports, railways, any project you name, we should connect each other. By connecting each other, we can create a mutual beneficial. We can create win-win situation with our support. So this is the purpose of the initiative called One Belt, One Road. So Jordan is alongside, is along the road of Silk Road, One Belt, One Road strategy. We have a big plan for Jordan. So His Excellency Mr. Fahuli, the Minister of Planning, he was in Beijing to participate in the summit. And I'm following up the results with him. by arranging the meetings with him. And I shall talk to him about how to implement the investment projects in Jordan, infrastructure, railways, highways, etc. So we have a lot to do. So by launching such a program, such initiative in Asia, Africa, Europe, and including Jordan, I think that we can create a much better win-win. It's not a selfish program. We really believe it's a win-win because we can use the fund, we call it the Silk Road Fund, and we have the banks in China, they are investing here and in other countries, and we have an Asian infrastructural investment bank. They've invested already in Asia, Central Asia, Southeast Asia, Middle East, Africa. Why not in Jordan? They visited Jordan about a month ago, right? The vice governor, and he reached a lot of understandings with Mr. Fahuli, the Minister of Planning. So all these banks, they have the fund, and the Chinese government has injected large numbers in the banks, in the funds, and we try to do more in these countries by using the fund, by using the human resources, by using the natural resources, the minerals, by using we try to connect each other. It's a completely mutually beneficial. It's not selfish, but mutually beneficial strategy. And on tourism, I agree fully that we need some programs for tourism because I see the large potentials. As you know, because the living standard of Chinese people are going higher and higher year by year. There are more and more people. They are going abroad. So for your information, there's some mentality or cultural changes in China. The older generation, they try to save their money in the banks. But the young generation, they want to use it, or they want to borrow the money from banks and use it. This is a change of mentality now in Chinese society. And so the young generation, they're more pragmatic. They want to enjoy life. They want to go everywhere. They've been to Europe, United States, Australia, Canada, or whatever you name. They are coming to the Middle East because they believe that Middle East is very mysterious. It's very strange. It's very unfamiliar place. Why not to have some explorations in the Middle East? So they are coming now.
That's what we think of China also.
Oh yeah, that's right. The same feeling. I think by coming more and more tourists from China to Jordan, there will be more people they know about Jordan. They love Jordan. Jordan is an amazing place. You have a lot to show to tourists. You have Dead Sea, Jerash, Wadi Rum, Petra, Aqaba, Ajilun, Magnas, Mount Nebo. Well, I'm not very good in knowledge, but still I have 10 already in my mind. So by showing these 10 or 15 historical relics and the size to Chinese tourists, it could be amazing. Package tourism, package tour, 5, 7, 10 days for them. And we are arranging maybe the flights. Some of them they're coming from Europe, some of them they're coming to the region from Dubai or from Israel. So Jordan is the hub. Jordan is the place which can attract large numbers of tourists. So Jordan needs to pave the way. Yeah, when we started the tourism maybe from Egypt in the region. There are tens or hundreds of people, they speak very good Chinese, Egyptians. And so it's a condition, it's a precondition, it's a code of success. I think you need to train, we can help to train the guides. They can speak Arabic and Chinese. So when the Chinese, they land here, they need the people who can speak their language. They can talk easily to each other. So we can work together on these programs, and I see and we are still providing, 150 or 160, I'm not sure, scholarships every year to our Jordanian students. So they are going to China. Some of them, they are learning Chinese medicine. They are learning some computer program, and some of them, they are learning the language, Chinese language. You have very good people, they speak excellent language. I don't know where I see some people, Dana, and Marwan, or Yosemite, or a lot of people. Actually,
she's very Chinese.
She's very Chinese, very successful.
When she speaks, I cannot
they are eager.
believe that she's Jordanian.
They like to learn Chinese. And some of them, they win the prize in China. As Your Excellency mentioned, the young Jordanian
Yes.
guy
We are
got
very proud.
the gold medal in the Chinese language competition in China.
We are very proud of our students.
That's right. So the scholarship, the language programs, the training programs is very important. We're also working on training programs, as you mentioned, that technology, on minerals, on human resources, on water resources, on everything. So actually, on training programs, we have the Ministry of Commerce. They are inviting hundreds of people from Jordan. Yeah, we are focusing on different programs. Some of them on technology, some of them on human resources, on knowledge, on language, everything. We are inviting the officials. We are inviting the doctors, the students, the young people from different areas of Jordan. And we are planning, as I mentioned, to open the university here. And China-Jordan University can start from automation, mechanism, mechanic courses, and the computer courses, and also tourism courses. Why not? You can be you can start the program. We can support you in such training programs. We can do it both simultaneously in China. We are inviting hundreds of people to go to China, and we can start in Jordan by using the platform here in TAG. So we can train the people. And we are encouraging the private sectors. Huawei, you may have heard about it.
Of course.
And other companies, they are very active here. They are working together with your Ministry of ICT, other ministries, even the municipalities. The Ministry of Labor, they have the program to train the local people, ICT, other projects, and we can work on any specific areas you are interested.
Okay.
You mentioned the mineral explorations, drilling programs, actually China is a country, we import a lot of raw materials. If Jordan has such minerals, we are eager to buy and import. By training, by communicating, by launching such common programs, we really need to do a lot together. We need to communicate and talk.
Thank you very much.
You,
we have so many requests to speak, and I hope we have time. We have time until 7 o'clock, so there is plenty of time for us to make. Yeah, I will. But before I take any other questions, I have two comments. The director and the manager of the Talal Abu-Ghazaleh Confucius Institute are here. You have two missions. One is with the Ministry of Tourism, our good friend, Her Excellency Lina Annam. You can work with her on a plan for teaching guides, tourist guides, Jordanians, basic Chinese required and enough for communicating with tourists.
We have already sent for them.
Okay.
We have actually two tourist guides. Now they are taking courses.
We want to develop a program. I'm not talking about a guide or two guides. I want you to develop a full program with the ministry to develop special courses for all the guides in Jordan. Okay, that's number one. Number two, I want you to work with His Excellency, his department, with the Minister of Investment, a program for having a representative from China wherever His Excellency decides to be located as advisor for business consulting. That which will be supported by the Chinese government. So we will work with both on the investment side and on the tourism side in helping with promoting tourism and investment in this country. We want to invite these tourists and these Chinese visitors to be able to be informed about the investment opportunities on personal session, not on general information for particular, so it is to develop a particular program under the guidance of His Excellency. We are very lucky to have His Excellency here, His Excellency Minister of Tourism, and I have asked him if he would be kind enough to give us some words of wisdom.
Yeah.
مساء الخير. To start with, اسمي مهند شحادة, وزير الاستثمار الدولي الأردني. To
To start with, Your Excellency, I would like to thank you for inviting me. I would like to thank you, Mr. Talal Abu-Ghazaleh, for all your efforts in bringing the Chinese and the Jordanian relation closer. This is not our first session. We had many other sessions. My good friend and my brother and my colleague as well, we've been working on the relation for the longest. I reiterate my thank you to you. I'm very grateful for the pitch that you presented to the Jordanians on what Jordan can offer to China and to the world. And I would like to reiterate the importance of Jordan for us and Jordanian as well. Definitely Jordan can be the hub for the Chinese and the Japanese and for whoever looking for a greater market. I'd like to reiterate that Jordan is not the market of the 7 million people or the 10 million people. Jordan is the relation. Jordan is the location. Jordan is the free trade agreement with America, with the United States, and with Canada, and with the Arab world. Jordan is the gateway for whoever wants to invest in Jordan. It's definitely the gateway. And we have seen this with the Chinese. We trade with China, by the way, it's 2.6 billion we buy from you. We export to you, it's 129 million. So there is quite a deficit there. So we're working our way up. Foreign direct investment that came from China in the past 5 years, it's 651 million. However, the big chunk of it is done recently. Concentration is energy, and we would like to diversify that to different sectors. Chinese tourism has grown by 76% during this year, by the way, which is a huge number. So our relation with China is going in the right direction. We're very grateful for your personal effort, because this is done through human and friendship, not done by systems or communication. My question to you is, in order for us to go faster, what would you like us to do? If I give you 2 things to pick, what would that be? Once again, thank you, sir, for inviting me.
Thank you.
Your Excellency, thank you very much for being a great friend of Jordan, and thank you for your pitch as well.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. That's the question now. Okay, thank you so much, my brother, Mr. Mohammed. Yeah, he has been with on Chinese affair, in the royal court for years, and he's very knowledgeable about China. He knows a lot about relations and the potentials, and he helped me a lot in promoting the relationship. Without your help, I can do very limited things. And thank you. And for your information, JIC, Jordan Investment Commission, they have a China desk now, so it's also a new platform to develop the relations and to attract more investments, to pave the way for more investments from China. So congratulations to that. And you mentioned about the deficit. Yes, it's there. The problem is that Jordan needs a lot from China. China needs maybe limited. If Jordan had oil, I think China could be a very big buyer. But now we are only buying potash and phosphate. These are the major commodities export from Jordan. And in order to expand the export of even potash and phosphate from Jordan to China, we are helping our Jordanian friend, Arab Potash Company, to enlarge the production by providing the new equipment and the machineries to the factories. So Chinese companies are working on it. And we are also exploring the other import. And we are looking for the minerals, maybe if you have, we can buy. And also other products, if can be produced here in Jordan, we are ready to buy. It's a free economy. It's a market economy. And it's a private economy. And you cannot force the companies to buy something they don't need. It's their choice to buy whatever they need. But still, I agree fully that we need to minimize the deficit, and we need to buy more from Jordan. So this is why the Chinese investors, they are coming. I told His Excellency, Mr. Mohammed, that there are investors, they are coming. We try to organize the forums, the B2B talks between the Chinese enterprises and the Jordanian companies. They can work on Dead Sea products. They can work on other spare parts, any industries any products you produce here, they are open to talk. A lot of Chinese friends, they keep calling me, what we can buy from Jordan? Tell me. And what areas you prefer we can make money there, we can make investment there. It means that they don't know very much about Jordan. So this is why we need your guidance. We need your instructions. We need you to tell us what to buy and where to invest. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And also answering the questions, what JAC can do for China. It's very important. It's very important question. Tell you frankly, for the investors, there are some conditions are very important. Safety and peace. Jordan has such advantage. Second, the location, the hub. As His Excellency already mentioned, this is your advantage. And the other one is human resources. You have very well educated, well trained, high quality human resources. Calculations is also important. And also very fixed and stable exchange rate. Right? US to Jordanian dinar. It's also a very positive factor for the Chinese, for the investors. And the challenges. I want to talk about the challenges. I talked a lot about the advantages. The challenge is that if they are coming here, right, they need to obey the rules and the laws and regulations here. So they need to hire the local labor. They are ready to do that. So they need to look for well-trained and high-quality human resources and the labor here. And some of them, they don't need so much experiences or education. But some of them, they are professionals. They need some professionals. And the second is a work permit. Right? Your Ministry of Labor, they are issuing work permit for the investors. Unfortunately, some of them, they have some very tough regulations. They say you have to meet some criteria, some standards. You need to hire some percentage of the local labor. You need to do extra blah, blah, blah. So this could be the limit. And also some differences in the regions. For instance, in Aqaba, it's special economic zone. It could be easily attractive investment. But among its capital, among the tax policy, the environment is different with Aqaba and with other industrial zones. So if they want to bring the factories here, if they want to open the Chinese mall here, if they want to open Dragon Mart in Amman, so they have to pay the tax. That's for sure. Never mind, they are ready to do it. They are paying UAE. They have shopping malls in Saudi Arabia, Oman, and Dubai, Abu Dhabi, Kuwait already. They are paying the tax. For your information, UAE is also creating some tax. Yeah. So Jordan, of course, it's reasonable. But for the investors, they are balancing. They are balancing where to put investment, where they can have more profits, where they can have more high efficient people. Then they make the decisions, they can increase the investment. But for your information, Jordan is a reliable, very high, how can I say, profitable and ideal place for Chinese investment.
We have here to recognize that we are lucky in this country because of the wisdom and the great leadership of our King, His Majesty, King Abdullah II, to whom we owe that this country remained to be an oasis of peace and security in the region. There is one simple reason, one major reason, and it is how His Majesty was steering the policy and the relationships in such a way that he gave us this great blessing, which makes this country an investment environment. I'm raising this point because it means security and peace are basic for investment as a request, the requirement for investment. Otherwise, we all know His Majesty's role. I'm not saying anything new, but I want to say that one of the attractions for investment is this blessing of peace and security. I want to buy two things right away. We heard about the Al-Badiya. The Al-Badiya here, Al-Badiya is a very important region, and I want we have one task force here in the forum about how we can support Al-Badiya, a very important and very well and very rich region with resources, so we can develop the Al-Badia, and therefore I would like the committee to present some concrete projects for China.
Yeah. We're ready to negotiate. We're ready to
So
talk
that we
about
can
it.
discuss them
Yeah.
directly.
Yeah.
On the subject of the potash,
Yeah.
maybe you could also offer in supporting the process of improving and developing their technology
Yeah, we
to
are
be
doing.
able to be productive, so that they can be
Yeah.
more, so that they can
Yeah.
send more products to your country.
Yeah,
So
we are working on it.
That,
Yeah.
that is
Yeah.
something maybe Your Excellency would think it's like the Americans do this process of between one against one, which
Yeah.
what you call win-win.
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Thank you.
Please, yes, I have seen so many hands and requests. Please be very brief so that we can have a chance for everybody. Okay. I'm trying, yes.
شكرا سيدي طلال أبو غزالة.
I'm going by Robert's Rules of Order, which say that the priority is in order of requests. So just to be democratic in this, he's been raising his hand for a long time. For a long time.
شكرا سعادة الدكتور طلال أبو غزالة. اسمح لي أن أسأل بالعربي حتى أستطيع أن أوصل فكرتي بشكل جيد. شكرا سعادة السيد طلال أبو غزالة مرة أخرى لأنك أنا صخر سور نقيب الجيولوجيين الأردنيين، لأنك تجمعنا بهذه النخب الطيبة وتتيح لنا الفرصة أن نتحدث، وقلما نجد هذه الفرصة أن نحضر مثل هذا اللقاء الثري والغني. شكرا لسعادة السفير بان على هذا الإيجاز الرائع والمبدع، وهذا وأنت يعني مش محضر هذا اللقاء كنت بهالإبداع. شكرا لاخي الدكتور عودي لانه تحدث عن الثروات الطبيعيه في الاردن. وضعت يدك على الجرح سعاده السفير، مشكله الاردن مشكله طاقه ومياه. نحن اغنياء في الثروات الطبيعيه، ولكن عندنا مشكله في اداره الثروات الطبيعيه وتجويد ادارتها، رقم واحد. رقم اثنين، كان لدينا مصنع زجاج في معان، رمال السيليكا الموجوده في معان من انقى انواع الرمال في العالم. نسبة السيليكا تصل إلى 99% الموجودة في درب الحانوت.
وأنا زرت المصنع العظيم الموجود للزجاج
الذي تم إغلاقه وبيعه للأسف الشديد. مش بس زجاج سعادتك، بالإمكان إنتاج عشرات الصناعات التحويلية من هذه الخام وهذه الثروة الطبيعية، اليوم تباع كخام بسعر رخيص. بإمكاننا أن نعمل عجلة إنتاج من خلال عشرات الصناعات التحويلية. شكرا لأنك أشرت إلى المفاعل النووي أيضا، لأنه نمتلك ثروة طبيعية اسمها اليورانيوم، أيضا هي في البادية في منطقة سواقة وخان الزبيب وما حولها. أيضا لدينا الصخر الزيتي وأنتم شركاء في الصخر الزيتي، وأنا أؤكد على أن ضرورة استثمار هذا المشروع، وحسب ما علمت أنه سيكون في استخدام ل 4500 عامل ليعملوا في بناء المصنع. ما نحتاجه، نعم الصين المصدر رقم واحد في السلع. أقول لك سعادة السفير ما نحتاجه بأن تكون الصين رقم واحد في تصدير المعرفة وصناعة الإنسان من خلال التدريب للحصول على فرص تشغيل. نحن اليوم بحاجة إلى السنارة التي نستطيع بها أن نصطاد السمكة، وهذا سيسجل للصين كدولة عظمى بأنها ساهمت في صناعة الإنسان الأردني. نحن بحاجة إلى أن نطلع أيضا على الثقافة الصينية. لماذا لا يوجد مركز ثقافي يطلعنا حتى يكون في تقارب أكثر من الناحية الشخصية، بالإضافة إلى تعلم اللغة. أكرر شكري لسعادة السفير ولسعادة طلال أبو-غزالة، مطالبا إياه إن كان بالإمكان أن يكون تعاون بين نقابة الجيولوجيين والسفارة الصينية. وقد طلبت موعد منذ عدة أشهر للقائك سعادة السفير في جامعة الصين الوطنية لعلوم الأرض، حتى ننهل من علوم الصين في موضوع علوم الأرض والجيولوجيا. أشكر لكم مرة أخرى.
شكرا. قبل ما ناخذ كلمات أخرى بحب أطمنك أخي. We received here Her Excellency the Vice Premier of China, and she very generously gave us a number of gifts, and we are coordinating with the Royal Court these gifts for education opportunities in China, and with priority first to the children of martyrs of Jordan. I requested that we give priority لأبناء الشهداء، لأن الشهداء بالنسبة لنا هم احنا مسؤولين، احنا أعمام أولادهم. فاحنا ننسق الآن مع الديوان الملكي in collaboration with the royal court about how to send students fully covered, courses fully covered by the Chinese government very generously. So we are grateful to that. And I'm doing it, I didn't want to do it as a forum nor as Talal Abu-Ghazaleh. I wanted it supervised by the royal court because it's something that, it's an authority that represents very ably this whole country. So that is being done. And my colleague who was in China,
They are already there.
many of them are already there. We're not talking about hope. They are already, we arranged, selected a number of them, and they are already in China studying in Chinese universities. So that is something. Please, but very briefly, I'm sorry, بس معاليك تفضل.
مساء الخير، أنا الدكتور هيدا رضا مدير عام مؤسسة وزارة الدواء. Good evening to you. Thank you, Talal and Your Excellency. Just I want to go direct to the point. We talk about everything, about every investor, but we don't talk about the pharmaceutical sector and the food sector, which is important for us, for Jordanian. Also as a hub zone in the same time. I know that Africa market is completely closed for Chinese pharmaceutical sector. We hope to
It's medical, right? Medical, medicine.
Medicine, yes.
okay, we hope to be a hub zone with joint venture between Chinese industry, pharmaceutical industry and Jordanian pharmaceutical industry. Meanwhile, Jordanian sector pharmaceutical reach up to 80 countries all over the world. In the same time, we have, as you said, that we have peace and stable country, but I add another thing for attractive investment, that we have also stable laws and regulation, and I think this is important for investment. We hope just this points to be in consideration in the future with Your Excellency. Thank you.
His Excellency is the president of the Food and Drug Agency in Jordan.
Okay.
Next.
I will talk in Arabic translate.
Okay.
أنا رانيا حدادين أمين عام حزب الاتحاد الوطني الأردني لشؤون العلاقات المحلية والدولية، وبنفس الوقت أعمل بالتجارة. وكان لي زيارة الصين قبل 4 سنين، وكان في بعض النقاط اللي هي واجهتنا مشكلة. بداية اللغة نمبر 1، ما فيش مكاتب معتمدة لحتى نندل على ناس يكونوا دليل سياحي أو دليل تجاري للأمور التجارية. بتستقطبك أي شخص بالشارع، فبتكون أنت معرض لكثير من أشياء خطأ بممارسة التجارة. الشيء الثاني لما بدك ترجع للنت وتشوف الصين.
تقصدي جايدز بالصين؟ بالصين. أنا قبل ما تكملي when His Majesty visited China, he asked that we send one of our organization, somebody from our organization, to be on the delegation, and he instructed us, His Majesty instructed us to undertake a program in China to bring Arabic language to China and to train in Arabic for various purposes to promote the relationship between Jordan and the Arab world.
جميل، لكن كمان ممكن يكون في عندنا، ممكن نساعد حضرتك يكون في على بالنت تفاصيل شرح كيف انك توصل لهي النقاط اللي بنحكي عنها. النقطة الثانية أنا بدي أحكي من الناحية السياسية كنائب أمين عام حزب. احنا بنتمنى انه يكون في تواصل حتى نتعرف على التجربة السياسية بالأحزاب بالصيف، خصوصا اني قابلت شخص برا الأردن وللجوكينج انه لما عرف بحاله حكى انه اعضاء الحزب 88 مليون وكسور، فيعني احنا نطمح ان نتمنى نتعلم من هاي القصه العالم.
Thank you. اوكي بعدين بس هو قبل معلش حسب الطلب. I'm sorry
شكرا.
مش حسب الأهمية، حسب اللي روبرتس رول اوف اوردر، في كتاب اسمه روبرتس رولز اوف اوردر لتنظيم الاجتماعات، ويقول أن الكلام يكون بالدور حسب تسلسل الطلب بالكلام وليس حسب أهمية الشخص. فسامحوني إذا كان مشيت بهالنظام.
شكرا سعادة الدكتور طلال أبو غزالة راعي المنطقة. طلال أبو غزالة معك. سؤالي يتمحور، احنا في عام 2017 والاقتصاد الأردني في عام 2017 شبيه بالاقتصاد الصيني في عام 1977. في عام 1977 كان الاقتصاد الصيني اقتصاد هزيل، كان اقتصاد ضعيف، كان يعتمد على تصدير 4 سلع: القطن والقمح والحبوب. وفي عام 1978 عندما استلم دينج هاسوا يانغ، يعني مش عارف الفظ الاسم، الحزب، فتوسط لدى الحزب 7 مرات، وخاف انه يطلب من جامعه اوكسفورد انه يزودوه خبير اقتصادي من اجل النهضه الاقتصاديه بالصين. شاءت الصدف انه يطلب احد الاقتصاديين وهو يدعى الياس ساركيس.
السؤال
نهض بالاقتصاد الصيني نهضه الان اصبح من مصادر الدول المتقدمه. السؤال الان، هل ستقوم الصين برد الجميل للدول العربيه؟ شكرا.
اولا يعني تواضع كبير انك تشبه الاردن بالصين. لا سنه ال70 ولا سنه المليون. احنا يعني خلينا نعرف حالنا وين والصين وين. هذه بتعمل لنا مشكله نفسيه اذا بنحاول نقارن حالنا بالصين. يعني لا، عقلي بيقبلها، يمكن انتم بعقليه العظمه تقبلوها، بس انا عقلي ما بيقبلها اني اقارن حالي لا بالصين ولا بالمؤسسات الصينيه. فهدي بيك وبعدين انت. فهدي بيك.
Thank you, Your Excellency, Senator Dr. Talal Abu-Ghazaleh, for the other opportunity for having the chance to speak to His Excellency, Mr. Ambassador. This is not the first time we have His Excellency, Mr. Ambassador, in Talal Abu-Ghazaleh Forum. And for the other time that I got the pleasure to hear you, Mr. Ambassador, every time you prove to us to be a very kind, polite, and considerate person, and most of all, a very visionary and positive person that you share with us all your wisdom and positivity for Jordan. But I recall from the last meeting we had with your kind self here in the forum, you emphasized something that was very important through a discussion you had with the former mayor of Amman, actually, that you said we're different from other donors and international agencies.
Correct.
That we don't give you instructions as Jordanians what to do, but we listen to you and we take your advice and we come in to implement.
Yeah.
And this is what you again proven to say again, that I'm here to listen to you and hear your advice. Speaking about that and speaking about the international missions in Jordan, and I have served for around 15 years with the United States Agency for Development in Jordan. When is the right time you think that China would have their own arm in Jordan that is highly needed for an international agency for development, that China is really needed to be physically located in Jordan and have its own developing agency, along with other international missions like SIDA, the Canadians, JICA, the Japanese, the GIZ, the Dutch, and the British, UK aid, and the Americans. We really highly need the developing agency by the Chinese to help support the capacity building, the technical assistance, etc. So, is there a timeline? Is there any conditions why China does not exist as a developing agency in Jordan? Thank you.
First of all, I offer my apology for being here so casual today. My name is Abdurrahman Rifai. I'm from Tamatum Games. Tamatum is the leading mobile game publisher in the Arabic market. We took games from outside Arabic world and published them here in Jordan. Let me give you a small hint about the gaming industry in the Arabic market. It's around 1 billion yearly, 1 billion profits yearly. So we're doing a lot of deals with Chinese companies, and we get a chance from a Chinese company called J Jam last year. and they was about to invest in Tomatum with $2 million. But the problem was from the Chinese government. They not allowed to take a big amount of money outside of China. So I would like to ask about this point. The other thing I would like to ask about the visa. It's hard and it's complicated, and we try to go to China many times. Sometimes we success, and sometimes we miss the conferences there in China. So I would like to ask about those two points.
Talking about visas is a criticism for us because we are managing the visa process for China. So visa department in His Excellency's embassy. So you are criticizing me. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your questions. It covers everything in large areas. I like your questions. I try to answer as proper as I can, as more accurate as I can. Yeah, concerning the cultural centers in China, as you may know that my embassy and the Ministry of Culture, they are talking with our Jordanian friends, especially the Ministry of Culture, on how to open the Chinese cultural center here in Amman. But in principle, we have already agreed because we have signed the MOU already. But we need to sign the governmental agreement, which we are still waiting for the feedback about Jordanian friends, especially from Ministry of Culture or Ministry of Foreign Affairs. So I think there are still some technical issues need to be answered, such as tax, such as staff, and also some other technical issues, the location, and also there will be staff from China, there will be staff from local, from Jordan. And I believe I agree fully with the person who raised the question. And the Chinese Cultural Center can be a good platform to let people to know more about each other. Because in the cultural center, not only will teach the Chinese language, but there will be a Chinese actually handicraft shoe, and some actually you know that there are some handicrafts we can have the training courses. And also the people, they like the Chinese art, the Chinese music or Chinese Kung Fu or Tai Chi, or even the lectures. We can have our next lecture in the Chinese Cultural Center. Yeah. And then next time, I've been here for several times. I like TH, of course. But next time, I hope I can have such lecture in Chinese Cultural Center very soon in Amman. We are working on it, as I mentioned. It's a bridge. It's a platform for communications and for some cultural exchanges. And you may know about China by watching Chinese movies, Chinese books, by learning some handicraft arts, actually, or Kung Fu, or calligraphy, whatever you name. It will be a center to showcase of Chinese Cultural Center. We need help. We are overcoming the obstacles by talking with the ministry.
On this, Your Excellency,
Yeah.
I will ask Ma'moon. I want you
have some new ideas.
I want you to undertake this assignment with the minister, who's our good friend, the Minister of Culture, to try to see how we can facilitate and expedite the process of this agreement.
He wants to talk about it? Okay. On resources, I agree fully that Jordan is a country with varieties of resources. You have mentioned about silicon. Yes, we are working on it, maybe to produce the glass. And also maybe solar panels. And also you mentioned about uranium. Yes. Also by using maybe local uranium to produce, to work on it on nuclear reactors. And also I heard that you have oil shale. We started working on it by providing $1.6 billion. We have already started the project already by using the local oil shale. And I've heard from your ministers that Jordan is also a country with copper. Copper is a raw material, is a resource very important for industry and other industry. So I think that we also can use it. And also the Chinese ministries and experts, they can come to Jordan to work together with your Ministry of Mineral Resources on how to explore. Even they are talking about how to drill oil, how to do some explorations in oil and gas resources. It's also possible. Why not? We have good experience. We are working with Saudi Arabia, with Iran, with all the countries, with Russia, even with Africa, Angola. So also we can work with Jordan on oil and gas explorations. Why not? So I agree fully. And also I agree that we should have more training courses, not only the universities, the schools, language schools, but also the vocational training. Vocational training is very popular in China. Some of the young people, they don't like to go to university. They like to go to vocational training. And vocational training graduates, they can find job more easily, 100%. University students, yeah, BA or MA, even the doctors, they cannot find a job 100%, maybe 90% or 80%. For your information, in China, every year we have 10 million people graduating from universities. We need to create 10 million job opportunities for our people. So this is why we emphasize more on vocational training. So being a kitchen, being a cook, being a mechanical staff, being a repairman or service, yeah, everything. So you can find a job easily in hotels, in service centers, in service industries. And we also can work on it. On drugs and pharmacy, our colleagues, they have left. Yes, China, actually we are familiar both, not only the Western medicine, but also we have Chinese traditional medicine. You may have heard about the acupuncture, yeah, and other traditional plants. They can be used as medicine, and they have less side effects, and some of them, they are more efficient. They are more effective in overcoming some of the long-term actually diseases. So we are ready to work together with our Jordanian friends. And quite a lot of Jordan students, they are going to China to learn Chinese medicine. So I think they can be the bridge, they can be the door for further relationship. But as I mentioned, we need to know more about each other because very few people in the West, including Jordan, know about Chinese medicine. It takes time. But as you mentioned, in the West, I was in UK, and there are 2,000 or 3,000 clinics. They have the traditional Chinese doctors and clinics. But in Jordan, I talked to your ministers, not only ministers of health. They said, no, they are not allowed to open clinic in Jordan because we're not familiar. We're not familiar. So that's the problem. We have similar problems because Jordan is not familiar, so they are not allowed to open in Jordan. But in the West, in UK, US, Europe, Australia, Canada, other Arab countries, you have traditional Chinese medicine used very widely already. I was in Oman as ambassador, Muscat, for 4 years. I talked to the Minister of Health there, and they invited large numbers of Chinese doctors coming from Beijing, Tianjin, working in the local hospitals. They said if the patients cannot be well treated by Western medicine, why not to try the Chinese medicine or Chinese acupuncture and Chinese massage? Yes, they worked. So this is why they keep inviting more and more doctors from China.
On this, I would like to write a letter to the Royal Court to intervene and solve this problem. It's not, we cannot continue to claim that we are more, we have higher medical standards than the US and the UK. So this is again another very presumptuous position by Jordan to claim that we cannot allow this because our standards, medical standards, are higher. So I think this is something that we need to complain to the Royal Court about.
So I want to talk also about the experiences of construction in China. In the past, we had what we call planned economy. Planned economy actually made people to be lazy. Before reform and open door policy, we pursued a Soviet or Russian style economy in China. It was very low growth. As you mentioned, Chinese economy was very weak. It was 80 or 90 among the countries in the world. But now it's the second largest economy in the world after the US. Why? Because Mr. Deng Xiaoping, he pursued a policy, open door and reform. Open door and reform means that we have to pursue market economy. We have to encourage the private sector to be more active. For your information, the workers, the people, they worked in the state-owned factories and the planned economy factories They used to sleep there. They played mahjong. In China, mahjong. They played playing cards together, even during the working hours. It's ridiculous. Why? Because whatever you do, you have the same level of salary. You are high efficient, you are knowledgeable, you are more hardworking, but you have the same salary as the others. They are sleeping there. They are playing mahjong, they are playing cards there. The same. So Mr. Deng said that we should encourage people to be more hardworking. We have to encourage people to sleep less and work seriously during the working hours. So you're laughing, but actually in China, before the open door policy, before we choose to adopt a market economy, we had a planned economy. Planned economy means everything is equal.
You mean we have to stop bribing our people by giving the enforced holidays?
No, I'm not talking about Jordan.
I'm talking about Jordan.
Okay. I'm not talking about Jordan.
And I have complained about this to every prime minister. We have the highest level of holidays in the world in this country.
Okay.
We give holiday on everything, and it's a forced holiday. It's not voluntary.
I'm talking about China. Mr. Deng said that we are socialists, but we are not dogmatic socialists. We are not Soviet-style socialists. We are open-minded socialists. We will continue to have our socialist system, but we have to adopt a more high-efficient Western and capitalist style in China. What's the capitalist style? It means that you have to comply yourself with the needs of the time, with the reality of the world. So he started the 4 economic zones in the south of China. Some more people said, why are you doing like this? The foreigners, they have more salaries than we have. And we are giving the time, we are giving the land, we are giving the opportunity for them to make profits here. They have more profits than we do. Only foreign enterprises are allowed to make profits. In China, 30 or 40 years ago, people were jealous. This is why we are Chinese, they are Americans, or they are Europeans. Why we should have less? Why you treat us differently? Mr. Deng said, don't be jealous. Don't be jealous because they have fund, because they have investment. Let them to come. They can open factories here. They can create job opportunities here. We can learn technologies from them. We can learn the way of management from them. We need that. If you do not want to learn from them, you cannot catch up. Mr. Deng, he was so wise. Actually, the people, they went to the private sectors, from the governmental sectors, they became more hardworking because they were kicked out by the owners if they sleep during the working hours. So they forgot the sleeping habit. They go home to sleep during the nighttime, not working hours. Why? Because the system, the mechanism worked. So by that time, China started to catch up. Now it's the second largest economy in the world because they learned how to be hardworking, how to be more high efficient, how to be more pragmatic, how to learn the more advanced, whether it's from East or West, the more advanced technology from abroad. And also, some of the countries, they have preconditions. If they donate something, if they help you financially, they have political preconditions, such as reform, democracy, human rights, or whatever. China never put such preconditions on others if we want to help them in Africa, in the Middle East, including Jordan. We're not telling them what to do or what not to do. This is our policy, this is our principle. We respect their tradition. We respect the way of their development. We respect their belief. We respect their culture. We do not want to change them. But still we believe that we can help each other. So China maybe in some areas we have a more advanced technology. Yeah, we can work together by investing in such sector. We can make progress together. We have no political preconditions at all. We are not forcing you to adopt a Chinese model of development. Yeah, whatever you do in the Western way, in the capitalist way, in private way, we agree fully. But still, we believe that we still can help each other, learn from each other. Jordan, you have your advantages. We can learn more from you. You are more flexible. You have very good quality of education. You have very good human resources. You are very open. You are very far-sighted. Under the leadership of wise leadership of His Majesty King Abdullah II, Jordan is doing very well. Right. We admire a lot. So this is why we believe that we can learn a lot from Jordan. We have our advantages and disadvantages. And on the mechanism of China aid in Jordan, because we believe that we can do through different ways. China aid, like US aid, it's working. So US aid, it could be a governmental or non-governmental institution. Mm-hmm. But now in China, we believe that China aid is a governmental behavior. It's from the Ministry of Commerce. And China has actually the grants to developing countries, as mentioned, for One Belt, One Road initiative. We will, maybe in the next 5 years, we will provide 9 billion grant. It's a gift to the developing countries. We'll continue to do that. But our mechanism is quite different with the West, or with Arab countries, or with Japan. It's quite different. But maybe we need to reform. Yeah, we are ready to do that. So as I mentioned, in some of the corporations, it's governmental behavior, such as university, such as cultural center, such as training, such as actually humanitarian assistance. It's governmental. But still, we do not rule out some private PPP and company collaborations on renewable energies, on railway, on nuclear reactor, from red to dead, on housing, on actually any projects you name, minerals, any projects you name, it should be done by the companies, by the investors, which we call them non-governmental, company behavior. So after we adopted the market economy, not everything is done by the government. Some of them are done by the government, but some of them are not. The government cannot impose, cannot force a company to do A or Z, A or B. We just guide them. This is the policy. We have investment policy, we have the guidance, we have the laws. You can do everything you like under the umbrella of the law. So in the past, we pursued a planned economy. The companies are not allowed to do anything without the permission of the government. But after the reform, we say that we need to create more high-efficient companies. It means that they can choose whatever they want to do, but they are responsible for all the profits and the losses they might have if they sign the contracts with foreign companies. So some of our Jordanian friends say, you are the ambassador, tell your government to make investment here. I told them, it's not the behavior of the government, it's the behavior of the companies. If you have good environment, stable, peaceful environment, they will be here. If you have very fixed regulations, stable regulations, they will be here. If you have very friendly environment, they will be here. This market economy, we are encouraging our companies to choose Jordan because we believe Jordan is a reliable, is an ideal place for investment. But we are guiding them. We are not forcing them. And on visa, it's a problem. Yeah, quite right. Yeah, and
for the visa, please explain your problems to Talal Abu-Ghazaleh visa department.
Yeah.
And we will take them up with the embassy.
Okay.
And try to find solutions.
Okay. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. So TAG is working very well with us.
You.
They are receiving the passport, but they are not allowed to issue visa. Issue visa is the policy of Chinese government. So we are very tough on it for the reasons you may know that because of the regional issues, the regional development. But tell you frankly, we don't have tough regulations on Jordanians. On Jordanians. Compare with Jordan, some other countries, I don't want to name them, we have tougher regulations on them.
In other words...
And why we are tough on visa? Some of the reasons is that a lot of Jordanian businessmen, they are going to China. And they are overstaying in China because China is so attractive for them. They want to buy everything from China. So we give them 3 months stay. They stay there for 6 months or 12 months. What we call is overstay. Overstay is illegal. If we want to punish these people, they are illegally stay in China. We have to adopt a tough policy on visa. But if you are a professional businessman, if you are frequent traveler to China, if you are doing daily business with China, if you obey the law of it could be 3 months visa, it could be 6 months visa. If you come back to Jordan within the time limit, you are welcome. You don't have any problems. We have our tough visa policy only on the people who have illegal stay in China. Thank you. Oh, sorry, the game. 4 days. 4 days is perfect. But usually we issue 3 months. 3 months. Okay. And for your information, we even issue multiple yearly, 12 months. But still some people, they overstay. They say 3 months is too short in China. They want to stay longer. But we said, come back and ask to apply this again, not overstay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Excellency, for saying that it's not, for explaining that it's not our fault.
It's not your, it's my fault.
Because we work for you. We work for you and under your policy and rules and instructions.
And we also put some people in the blacklist because they are doing something illegally. Every country has their law.
And we said we want to close at 7.
About the investment,
and it's already
about
7.
the investment.
And I know many of you want to make statements. Can we have just 3, the hardest, if you feel very, very strong and very anxious, just 3. And the others, would you yield? Please yield. So we have 1 here, and 1 here, and 1 there, and that's all, please. حاضر أمرك ستي. Okay, and we will close.
Good evening. My name is Hakim. I'm from Jordan E-Writers Association, and I will speak in Arabic. كنت أشتري الزجاج سابقا من فرنسا إلى أن وجدت السوق الصيني. الآن أنا عتبي على الصين، ليس عتبي على الصين، عتبي على مؤسسة المواصفات والمقاييس الأردنية أنها تدخل البضاعة الصينية التي ليست كما تدخلها في الأسواق الأوروبية والأمريكية. أنا الآن أشتري الأصناف الصينية ولكن من الولايات المتحدة الأمريكية. سؤالي الآخر، متى سنرى مدينة صينية كاملة متكاملة، مدينة صناعية كاملة متكاملة داخل الأردن الهاشمية؟ السؤال الأخير، يعني تحدثنا كثيرا عن تبادل التعليمي والثقافي، ولكن لم يكن هناك مجال للتبادل الإعلامي والصحفي من باب المعرفة. متى يكون ذلك؟ شكرا.
I am Akram Abu Ghazaleh from Jordan Industrial States Company. Mr. Ambassador, I would to like to thank you very much, and of course Mr. Abu-Ghazaleh for his invitation. There is a beautiful initiative Chinese about the road and the belt. This initiative allowed to us to visit China and recognize the civilization. We learn more and more about this visit. We need more cooperation in this field.
Thank you. Thank you.
هذه المواد الأولية التي تلزم في الصناعة حتى نحد من موضوع الفقر والبطالة. النقطة الثانية، في الورقة السابعة لجلالة سيدنا جلالة الملك ركز على موضوع القوى البشرية. نحن في الأردن بحاجة إلى مراكز تدريب يديرها القطاع الخاص، وأقول القطاع الخاص لأنه التجربة في العالم خارج الأردن القطاع الخاص هو الأقدر على تحديد احتياجاته حتى نخرج بمخرجات متدربة وكفاءات عالية في بلدنا الأردن عندما تأتي الاستثمارات الصينية إن شاء الله إلى الأردن. وشكرا جزيلا.
I am Vice President of Big Business Professional Women Association. Maybe I come here expecting that His Excellency is speaking Arabic.
Sorry. It's my fault. I need to be trained here.
No, it's my fault.
I want to know if there's any projects or any we can make relationship with you, with the embassy. We are empowering the women, businesswomen here in Jordan.
Yeah.
So how can we do it with you personally? Thank you.
Thank you very much. And I'm very grateful to His Excellency, our Minister of Investment, for staying so late with us, and for all of you who are here surviving the late evening.
Okay. Thank you so much. I also enjoy very much because I want to communicate with you for being ambassador. Yeah, next time I learn from His Excellency.
No, I learn. Next time we'll have the meeting.
I'll be student here in TAG very soon.
No, we will all have our next meeting in Chinese.
Yeah. So I really enjoy the environment and the atmosphere. I like to communicate with you. And I want to talk to you more frankly, more sincerely. It's the job of the ambassador because we want to introduce our culture, our policy, and the ways of collaboration between the two countries. And I'm so happy that you are here. Thank you very much for your patience. And you have so many questions. And because the chairman does not allow you to raise so much questions, I'm ready. I'm ready to stay until 11 or 12, if you like. But maybe next time. Yeah, next time. But anyhow, answering your questions, I agree fully that the Chinese products is not as good as the Western products. As ambassador, I need to confess.
I disagree.
There
are many. I know. You are pragmatic. I'm pragmatic.
Okay.
There are certain industries in which China excelled over all the countries in the world, and I can name them if you want.
Okay. Thank you so much. I mean that we started from the low quality. If you mention the products made in China, people will buy. Made in US or made in Europe, right? I agree fully. Myself, I'm buying the products from US, from Europe. But I want to tell you, and His Excellency also agrees, that Chinese quality is catching up.
It caught up, not catching up.
Okay. And still, I want to tell you, maybe His Excellency does not agree that China is still a developing country.
It's not a developing country. It's a developed country. So, I know you like to keep country developing because under the system you have advantages for developing countries.
Why developing? Because China has very large population, 1.3 billion. So average income. So maybe you have visited very advanced areas such as Shanghai, Canton, Hong Kong, Beijing, or the coastal areas. Yes, they are rich and prosperous, and the average income is quite big, quite large. But if you go to the central part of China, if you go to western part of China, we still have 60 million people. Their income is under $1 one day now. $1
a day.
A day.
A day, of course.
So average income, you agree fully that we have the imbalanced development in China. Eastern part of China, yes, if you go to Shanghai, Guangzhou, or Hong Kong, yes. But if you go to the western and central part of China, according to our statistics, 60 million people, their income is $1 one day. So this is the first. The second, compared with foreign technologies, Western technologies, China still enjoys a low level. Being ambassador, I'm not being modest, being a pragmatic. It's a reality. Whenever we talk with our Jordanian companies, they said, can you provide a safe and high quality products? They never ask the Americans or the Europeans. Why they're asking the Chinese? Because they don't trust very much on some sensitive technologies and high quality products. So frankly speaking, Chinese products, even Chinese technologies, are not as good as American made or European made, very frankly. But as I mentioned, China is catching up. Second, China has its own advantages. So we have the space industry, we have the very high quality industries, we have, as I mentioned, nuclear technology, high speed, fast speed trains. We have very good actually equipment. Everybody is buying from us. If you go to the US, if you go to Europe, also you can see everything is made in China. Why they are buying from China? It means they still like the quality, they still like the price we provide, right? So during the visit of my deputy prime minister, of my minister to Jordan, we talked to our Jordanian friends. We told them that China is a developing country. Our cooperation is south to south. It means that China, we have a lot to do to help our own people. 60 million under poverty line. But still, we are doing our best to help our friends in Jordan, in Africa, in other developing countries. Because we believe that we can share our experiences. We can share our fruits of development. And we'll continue to do that. As I mentioned, we have so many investment opportunities. We are encouraging our investors, although they are from private sector, to come to Jordan. As I mentioned, as governmental, we cannot force them to do that. They come by themselves. Why they choose Jordan? Because Jordan is very stable, it's very peaceful, it's very friendly to us. Why not to choose Jordan? So they're coming by themselves. So this is why I believe that the Chinese quality, yes, I agree fully, we need to do more, but still people, they choose to buy from China. Even Jordan, why China is the largest exporter to Jordan? Except crude oil you are buying from Saudi Arabia. You are not buying a lot of products from Saudi Arabia, except crude oil. Why you are buying from China? It means that you still believe that the Chinese products is in good price and in quality. We can believe and we can trust it. Not high quality, but still if you compare with American or European made, maybe the Chinese product is more economic, cheaper. And still, as I mentioned, we trust China, trust Chinese commodity, it's catching up. Why so many people are buying? I was in the US, the Americans, they say, thank you, China. We have a high salary and we're buying cheap products from China. So we live a very, very nice life. Why? Because higher salary, buying cheap products. Why not? Why the Americans themselves, they're not buying American products? Why? They say that Chinese products are as better as the Americans, and it's cheaper. Why we should not buy from China? So they say without Chinese supply of commodities, maybe our living standard could be completely different. I talked to the Americans in the streets when I was in the US. So this is a reality. In Jordan, why so many businessmen people, they're going to China, they're buying from China, they are overstaying in China. Why? Okay, and on One Belt, One Road, I want to emphasize, yes, we are open, we are flexible, we want to do more. We are encouraging our private sectors, our banks to be in the countries like Jordan. And the Chinese government has provided a lot of funds. We have Silk Fund, we have Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank, and we have other private banks, state-owned banks. They are coming to Jordan.
And you will support businesswomen.
Yeah, of course. That's right. And on the resources, I agree fully. Jordan is a country with rich resources which need to be explored. So there there should be some training courses, some joint tasks, a team, and some workshops working together through JIC between Chinese professionals, expertise, and companies, private sectors, with your people in Mafraq or LB, any place you name, because you have rich resources which has not been explored, right? So we can help. We can invest in this industry. Sure. Of course, I'm ready to meet the Chamber of Commerce, right?
Please.
Yeah, okay, I will.
Yeah.
Very good, yeah. And the female businessmen, for your information, the Chinese female or lady business, they are very active, they are very successful. We have a lot of billionaires. They are ladies, they are women, they are very active. We call the ladies in China are the half sky. Why half sky? It means that they have this equal status, or they are even working much better than men, because they have the advantage and they are highly respected. So we are encouraging our female businessmen or managers to be more active. I believe yes, the answer is yes. We can work together. We can work through your channel to encourage more female, more lady businessmen in Jordan to be more active. Actually, I propose that there are weekly visits from Chinese investors. For your information, in July, August, September, October, every month, we have 40 to 50 entrepreneurs and investors. They are coming to Jordan. They are looking for investment opportunities. And 1/3 or half of them are ladies. They are from private sectors. They are the managers. They are the managing directors. And they are ready to talk with you. Also talk to the Chamber of Commerce and everybody in JIC.
Thank you very
so
much.
it's good news for you. Maybe from JIC or TAG, they can inform you when they are here, when we can have the forum, and when we can have the business-to-business talks.
Very good.
Between the ladies.
Excellent.
Okay? Thank you very much.
Do you have something to say, Mamoun? No, you are done. Okay. In closing, we would want to thank you for your time and for the wealth of information that you gave us. And in recognition, I want to offer to you this.
Thank you.
معالي اكرمنا بوجودك.
Please. Thank you so much. Thank you. Together.
He's parliamentary.
Parliamentarian.